Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Design Uncut. No cuts, no edits, no bullshit. Today we're going to talk about how you can improve your design skills. Even if you're a beginner, someone who's been in this field for a long time, or someone who doesn't even know how to start designing, all these tips will help you improve your design skills. So, these tips are tips that are followed by the best of designers in the industry right now. So, pay attention and let's get started. So, the first point that I want to state is practice something every week. A lot of people get under this assumption that practicing every day is important. Yes, it is, but don't take up projects every single day. This daily design challenge, or whatever it's called, is, I feel, great for people who are trying to improve just their quick UI design skills, but not really taking into the point that designers are more than just people who make things on the screen. They're thinkers, they're problem solvers. So taking that into view, I feel it's best that you guys start off with designing one project a week. So you take like 3-4 days at least to create one single project. You take up one problem or two problems and solve those problems. With this problem solving attitude or nature, you will become a better designer in the long run. One thing that you shouldn't do is daily design challenges, that's for sure. And pick a problem and solve it over 2 to 3 days. So we've covered that as well. Number two is very important. It says use simple components. And again, I'm reading from my trusty iPad right here, and I've just noted everything down. So use simple components. I've seen so many people use complex gradients, shapes, graphics to improve their designs, but their skills are already lacking. So if you think you're a designer who is just beginning out, or if you are someone who might not have too much of experience designing different kind of projects, I suggest go for simple components, simple cards, simple text, simple subtext, simple paragraphs that you've written, or simple content display, things like that. So, which in simple terms, I'd say it's minimalism. Follow a minimalist attitude when you are designing, especially if you're new to design, because you don't have to use different color palettes. You don't have to use fancy fonts to be a good designer. You can do it just by using a simple formula, which is use minimal components and put in less effort for more gain. That is the 80-20 rule. Put in 80% gain from 20% of the effort put in. So put less effort, you'll get more gain. Use UI kits. This is another thing which I really put out there, is use UI kits for practice. UI kits are there to help you out quickly build something, and over that you can build something else. So it's like a structure, it's like a already set up structure. Imagine you are a construction worker, you are going to the site of construction and you find a base already laid out. You'll be a happy person, you'll be a happier person than everyone else. So use UI kits. It'll basically help you create this kind of conception in your head. It'll create images in your head. So next time you design, you will design like you used to design with the UI kits. So even if the UI kits have very complex designs, you'll remember those designs even if you've kind of copied them or just used the base and just tweaked it a little bit. You will remember how to design like as if you're using a UI kit. Don't, again, this I cannot stress enough, is don't practice complex gradients and shapes. First, just start with the basics. That is one of the best tips anyone will give you. Third point, which is again something which I would recommend to each and every one of you, even if you're not a beginner, is learn about the importance of white space, learn about the importance of typography, grids, layouts, and like all these important concepts out there. Even if you crack these 4 5 things like white space, typography, grids, layouts, you will basically be on the way of becoming a better designer, because this is something I see in my entire community of 22,000 something people on YouTube, is a lack of understanding of white space, a lack of understanding of grids, layouts, and typography. These are the core structure elements that you are putting in. So focus more on your structural elements, and then maybe focus on things like gradients and which image should be where, which sort of 3D diagram you want to use to display data. All that can come later. Number 4, ask more feedback on Facebook and Slack. So, Facebook and Slack is literally populated with hundreds of design groups. Just go to Facebook, in the search bar, type in UI design or UX design. You'll find like 50 different groups, all having 1,000 plus members. Go ahead, publish whatever designs you have made onto those platforms. I know it's going to be scary because you're literally trying to market yourself into the world, but don't worry. You might, in the first few turns, get negative feedback, a lot of criticism towards your designs. But remember, as a designer, you will have to be used to having critics around you 24/7. It could be a product manager, it could be your general manager, it could be your design manager. All these stakeholders will always keep an eye on you, and they will always criticize you for even the smallest of things. So remember, Facebook and Slack is getting you ready for the big world, for the outside world, which you will join. If you're a beginner in design, you will be joining a company soon for an internship or for a job. You're going to face all this. So post your designs on Facebook and Slack and ask for feedback. Explicitly ask for feedback so people can give you feedback. And also ask for feedback on smaller projects, like 1 or 2 pages. Don't ask for feedback on like an entire project consisting of like 10 pages. What will happen then? People won't be able to give you specific feedback on smaller things. Sometimes fixing the smaller things will improve your big picture. So number 5, okay, this is something that I would stretch a lot, especially if you are going into this design field, you're just stepping into the design field. You have designed applications. Imagine this, okay? I'll give you a scenario, okay? Imagine you are going into a new company, okay? And this is your first job. You've designed great application designs. You love designing applications for phones, and you're an expert at it. But when you go inside, somebody puts you onto a project which is a responsive website. So you've got the mobile part of it locked down, okay? You're great at it. But where is the web part of it? You'll have to unlearn a lot of stuff and relearn web design from scratch. Not the code part of it, but understanding what web design is, how grids work, how does CSS work, how can you convert designs into all that. So all that comes into play once you get into organizations, especially bigger organizations which have a vast set of products and projects going on. So I think this should have been the number 1 tip, is to start designing for both type of screens. Not only both type of screens, keep in view every type of screen, be it web, mobile, smartwatch, TV. So know 2 areas, small screens and large displays. So small displays will be your phone, Apple Watch and all that, and large displays will be your TV, web and things like that. So practice different genre of design for different screens sizes. Also, this is one thing that I'm gonna kind of meld into the last point, is practice layout for web, Android and iOS. So people forget web, Android and iOS, they might be very similar looking. At the end of the day, the product might look close to even identical sometimes, but the practices, the principles, the way it should be displayed is always different. moving on to our last point, which is very similar to my previous statement, is study design systems. So, design systems, major design systems that I suggest start with is, of course, material design. That is something you cannot skip. Okay, material design is one of the most widely used, especially on Android, and Android is the most widely used operating system in the world. So prepare yourself for Android with material design. Study Apple's HIG, or Human Interface Guidelines. A simple Google search will take you to these websites. You can learn just by understanding, first of all, their UI kits. Download their UI kits, understand how everything is placed out, what is the typography like, understand the front end of it all, then understand the thought process behind it. Once you've understood the design, come back to their websites and check out what is the thought process, what are the principles involved, what are the design principles that are involved in this, why is it done. That is important. And also at the end, practice using design systems. So a lot of people use material design, but they don't pick it up from the material design library. Don't be shy to use these libraries that there are on their websites. Download material design UI kit. Download HIG UI kit. It's not a shameful thing to have, a UI kit on your system. People will not judge you, and even if they do, well, you come to me. I'm like your big brother. Just kidding. So even if they do, just take it with a pinch of salt and say, okay, this guy is. Actually, I said that wrong. Just take it with a pinch of sugar in this case, and just let it be. This is something that you'll always get, is designers who stereotype a lot of stuff, who put you on the line and say, okay, this is something that you're not doing right. Why are you not doing it this way? And I have fought a lot of battles for how design should work. And I might be wrong at the end of the day, but I won those battles. Then at the end of the day, they're like, oh, now I understand why you were saying that. And that is because you have to stick to your point sometimes. So that was enough moving away from the topic. Thank you guys for always, supporting this podcast. It's a new podcast. For your support, all I need is for you to go ahead and subscribe to this on any platform you are, be it on YouTube, Spotify, any podcast listening application. Just go ahead and kind of subscribe to it and favorite it or share it. Whatever you can do to support this podcast, I will highly appreciate it. I will see you every single week, like always. Thank you for being here again. God bless. Good night.